Right, morning troops. Morning troops. Sun is rising. We got coffee in hand. Let me just grab my coffee. Coffee in hand, look, there we go. Sun is just about picking its head up. So this morning, we're gonna do a little bit of a video, playing some golf with the guys that are running the trip. And I had a great conversation last night with a student regarding stats, whereby, in his words, he said, I feel like I'm hitting it better, but I'm just struggling to score. Now here's the thing, he's taking his stats. That is awesome. That's exactly what I want players to do, basic stats. But we've firstly got to understand the basic idea of a stat, identifying where your weaknesses are. So by that definition, we better understand what a good shot looks like. So today I am going to test the guys that I'm playing with. What does a good stat look like? And do they understand that? Now, they're pretty good players, so they're probably going to have a great idea. And for the large majority of people that I play with, they typically don't have a great idea of what is, by definition, a good stat. Do we think, in the comment sections, do we think greens in reg, by definition, is a more important value than proximity to the hole? They're two different stats. I'm not saying you have to hit the green. I'm saying, let's say you're 25 feet away from the pin, but you missed the green, or you're 70 feet away from the pin, but you're on the green. Which one's a better shot? So basically going to test them. Do they know who hits the most amount of greens, who hits it the straightest off the tee, and maybe a couple other variables in there. Simply put, if you're taking stats, brilliant. You are by definition my type of golfer, and if you're not taking stats, start taking some simple stats. But you're probably going to want to watch this video because you probably need to have a little bit of an idea. Let's go outside. You're going to need to probably have a little bit of an idea of what is a good stat to keep. For me, how many fairway you hit, great. How many greens in reg you hit, again, great. But there's a little bit more to that. Certainly around here, you can hit fairways and be in good spots, but you could hit great tee shots and maybe just slip off the fairway and it hasn't bothered you, but you can access the pins. Therefore, your proximity might go down. Understanding stats is huge. Let's go and see what the boys say. Hi boys, welcome. Where are we? Why are we here? What's going on?
The Elite Amateur Golf Group 2023 Grand Final here in La Cala Resort, Spain.
Will Goys, second in command, I guess.
Hello everyone, we're absolutely delighted to be here in the sunshine in La Cala in Spain. We've got a 4-ball better ball final just out in front of us. Started hot, birdie from Woburn on 1, birdie from Maidenhead on 2, all square after 3.
Perfect. Right, I've got Ed over here. We're playing a par 3. This video is going to be short, right? This is just for me. What's the handicap?
5.
5 handicap. 2.
Plus 1.
Plus a million. I don't think, as a golf coach, many players understand what a good shot is. They hit a shot, they think, oh, that's an average shot, or that's a bad shot, when it's probably better than they thought. How far we got on this hole?
We scoped it at 120 playing 140, but we're looking at the tee mark here at 145 metres, which is obviously equated to 160 yards, give or take.
So what's your number in your mind? How far are you hitting it?
Well, based on the scope, I want to chip an 8-iron down there quite low, because it's into the wind today.
So your number's 144?
Yeah.
Right.
Playing.
Quick question, I'll tell you the answer on the green. Best player on the PJ Tour from 150, what's the average proximity? Best player, last season. I'll give you a clue, it's Xander Schauffele.
Right, I'm going to
I believe, I'll check that.
I'm going to go on a middle number. I think it's a little bit more than this, but I'm going to go to 16 feet.
16 feet?
Yeah.
From inside 150?
Yeah. I'm going to go 24 feet.
24 feet?
Yeah, I'm going to say about 20 feet, I think.
Right.
That was my original number.
Last question. Percentage of hit the green from this distance. Best players on the planet. Let's go again, number 1.
Yeah.
How many, out of 100%, what regulation is he hitting?
That player?
Yeah.
74.
Yeah, I would have said 70, 72.
I'm going to say about 80.
Right, you're all scratch golfers. Let's see how you bang up against that. I'll give you the answers on the green.
Am I going to change?
So here's the stats. Number 1 on the tour, Scotty Scheffler. 80% greens in reg from that distance. 125 to 50, he is around 80% of hitting the green in reg. That means he's missing 20%, and that's one of the best players in the game. I thought it was Xander Schauffele. It's not. It's CT Pan. 18 feet. Let's just round this down. 18 feet. Best player in the game at that distance. 18 feet. We are 4 scratchish golfers. Ed, pace it out quickly. Just pace it out. How far you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8.5. Okay, you're 8.5.
24 feet.
So you're 24 feet. So I'll tell you the answer. Not on the green, 24 feet. And you're off +1.
Yeah.
Coops has missed the green, as is probably going to be standard today. Myself and Will, I'm going to step it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 times 3 is 63 feet.
63 feet.
You're not good enough, are you?
No, I've got to do better,
But you've hit the green.
hit the green, got a chance.
Would you state who's hit a better shot, you or Ed?
Ed's in a much better position than I am. I've got a bit of a ropey little part up.
Would you say this is a good shot or bad shot?
This one.
Yeah, for you. Where you've hit that, is that a good shot or bad
Average, very average shot.
shot? Okay, okay. Right, so we had 4 scratch golfers on that tee. Yeah? Here's the answers. I gave it to everybody a minute ago. CT Pan, 18.8 feet from 125 to 150 is the best on tour. Okay? In terms of distance away. Scotty Scheffler, no surprise. 80% of greens in reg from that spot. Now think about this. You've hit the green 60 feet away. This guy's missed the green 24 feet away. Who hit a better shot?
Proximity to holes, what you're playing for sometimes, isn't it?
So amateurs doing stats, are they more interested in the fact they're hitting greens or proximity?
I still think they're hitting greens, but I think that's where we get it wrong.
Because I think most amateurs are going to 3-putt from where you were. I think most amateurs can probably get up and down from where Ed was.
It's a better shot.
So stats wise, I think proximity is better than greens in reg.
Yeah, agree.
Food for thought.
I agree with that.
I've got another test coming for you in a few holes.
I like it.
Good.
Let's go.
So I've provoked some thoughts here. Standing on a par 5. What was your question?
My question is, what is the driving accuracy of the best player in the world?
Driving accuracy, fairways hit, best player in the world. Well, is it the best player in the world? There's the first question.
No, probably not.
Is the best player on the planet the best driver?
No.
No?
Not the straightest.
Not the straightest. Goisy, first question, is the number 1 player on the planet the best driver of the golf ball in terms of accuracy?
Not necessarily.
So you're all saying no?
Could be, but
Yes or no?
no.
Okay. answer is Russell Henley is the most accurate player on tour, hitting fairways off the tee.
What number is he in the world?
Great question. Let's find out.
50s? 50s maybe?
But he's hitting more fairways than anybody else on the planet. All right, isn't it? Hey? Still in there sometimes, mate. It's still in there sometimes, my friend. Actually, he was in the way off the bloody tee. Easy off the planet, this kid. Russell Henley, most accurate driver on tour. He's 25th in world rankings. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
But you said what? You'll be more interested to hear about what?
Longest because of proximity to the hole and distance after tee shot. I think it's worth more money to
So here we go. To hit greens in reg, you think being further down there is more important. Therefore, you get your proximity.
And I think the longer players will only be off the fairway by a few yards because they're hitting it longer. They've got tighter margins.
Russell Henley, 25th in the world. Does that surprise you?
It surprised me he's 25th in the world. Yeah.
As in, you didn't think he'd be that good?
I thought he was like 50 maybe.
Yeah.
You know?
So there we are. Yeah, so for me, that's really interesting. 25th in the world rankings. I had no clue. 25th in the world rankings, best player off the tee, kind of makes sense. That means that someone like Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, John Rahm, all those guys that we know drive it so well, obviously hit less fairways, but they're further down the hole, gives them more opportunity to get a bit closer proximity-wise. So immediately, 2 stats. If you can find a little bit of distance off the tee, that's not rocket science, that's going to help you. Try and keep it within the confines of the golf course, brilliant. And then proximity. Easy, isn't it? So technically I've missed a fairway here.
Which is a joke, isn't it?
Technically I've missed that fairway.
Bear in mind you're coming off a cliff.
So am I going to say that's a bad shot because I missed a fairway? No, am I? No, definitely not. Stats, they can be a little bit misleading because I wouldn't want that tee shot back ever. Leave it alone, wind. Didn't want to go in the water. Maybe just on sand. That's a missed fairway. That's probably about 305 off the tee, that one.
Yeah.
Missed fairway. That's not a bad shot. So there you are. Pretty simple ideas, right? You got 4 golfers playing today that pretty much do have a pretty great understanding of stats. Now, if you're new to stats, here's a couple of very simple things that you can start to do at home after a round of golf to help you understand what you need to go and practice on. Maybe you can go to the range and just practice on it by yourself, or go and see a PGA professional or a golf coach you trust to help you build up your weaknesses. Number 1, first stat I'd get you to take. Yes, track fairways in reg. That's your first tee shot. That's everything that's going to be set up from that. Track fairways in reg. Now, you're not using fairways in reg to feel $1 million about yourself. The goal here is not to hit, let's say, the perfect 14 fairways. Through that stat, then ask yourself, how many foul balls are you hitting? How many just completely blazed shots offline are you hitting? That's the stat you need to find out. Because if it's 0, you don't really need to practice your driver or your tee balls. But if you're seeing 4 or 5 big blazes off the planet, start there. Because if you can't get off the tee, you're going to really struggle. Second stat. Proximity to the hole. Now, proximity to the hole relative to your handicap and the last iron shot into the green. So if you're a scratch golfer, your second shot. If you're an 18 handicapper, your third shot. General proximity to the green. Doesn't have to be bang, absolutely accurate. If you've got a good eye, after you've done it a few times, you can go, well, that was 10 feet, that was around 15 feet, that was 20 feet, that was 50 feet, that was 80 feet. Start finding the areas in your game that you're really accurate with, and you can build your game off that. Right, final stat I want you to take, putting. Doesn't matter how many putts you have, doesn't matter how many 1 putts you have, doesn't matter how many 2 putts you have, ask yourself how many 3 putts in a round of golf are you actually having. That stat is going to tell you quite a lot about where you were on the green. So let's say you're 20 feet away on average versus someone that's 80 feet away on average. Well, probably the guy at 80 feet on average probably is going to have more 3 putts. Or if you flag a load of 3 putts and your average proximity is 20 feet from the green, well, 20 feet from the pin, then there's quite a bit of easy wins there in the putting. So there we are. A couple of very simple stats I'd love you all to take. From there, you can start to really digest where your strengths are versus your weaknesses. Then you can start to play better golf. Hope you enjoyed that video. Impromptu. Have a good weekend.